My mom said the first word I said was light. I'd stand there playing with the light switch. I was always taking things apart at home. On garbage day, she said I would be she knew I would be late because I was, picking up broken vacuum cleaners and things from in front of people's homes. And I took as much science as I could in high school and took a lot in college. It's always interesting. Well, I've always liked antiques. Actually, my first job was in an antique gallery. So I collect bottles, coins, I trade in antiques. Sometimes I've done entire estates. History became very interesting to me as I got older, and I like the intersection of science and history. I wrote a number of books and articles. I always had an interest not just in teaching students, but in working with colleagues and educating other adults and finding out things from that.
How would you describe Rozz?
Not your typical teacher.
Quirky and unique. He's very funny. It takes a lot to get under his skin, I think.
A cool and funny guy.
Very funny, relaxed, but quick on his feet to make a joke or a comment.
Fashionable, definitely. He's good at what he does. Well, I think he's just such a nice guy. He's kind of like a father figure for everyone in the school a little bit.
One thing he did a lot was we would play like games, and then he'd give out prizes. And I feel like he gives a lot of stuff to his students, which is really cool. One time I drove by his house and I stopped and actually took a picture of him in his garage and sent it to him.
What is it like to teach different subjects?
I think there's a lot of topics that don't fall neatly in a discipline, and so I'll teach a subject sometimes in two different courses, different aspects of it, or teaching it a different way. There's preparation time for each course, so it's a bit challenging when you have several courses to prepare for in 1 week. I just find physics interesting, the principles, the formulas, topics like sound and color very interesting.
Can you tell us a little bit about your nanotech class?
It took a while to get people to sign up. It wasn't even called nanotech and material science when I started. But after about 8 or 10 years of pushing it and involving it, that field started to grow and it kind of came together. What I wanted was something that was an elective that had a physical and chemical focus.
What is your relationship with your colleagues?
My colleagues?
Yeah.
I think we get along pretty well.
Cares a lot about the school, the community. Very approachable, very friendly.
He's very smart, but very interesting character.
I think teaching-wise, he is very much of a kind of an inquiry teacher who likes to let his students explore.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's fun to work with, and I'm happy to be friends with him.
When I'm teaching, they make good teaching tools. I can bring antiques and coins in, glass, a silver coin, and I can use that as a lesson in science and teach about the reactivity of metals.
Could you tell us a bit about your appraisal business?
You've got a group of coins and currency here, and you need to place a value upon it and sell it because you've got a client and you're assisting in their affairs. What I do is look at everything and I say this would be the cost of the appraisal, and then in a separate process I could advise you on selling. The best deal I ever had was actually a collection of Disney cells, the individual cells they used to make the films. And I realized the frames were old and the paper on the back was kind of falling off and worn. And they were Dumbo and Fantasia, and I realized that there was probably some value. I ended up selling a whole bunch of them, and the total I got, I think, was $8,000 or $9,000.
How much of your home is dedicated to things you've collected?
Well, officially, the garage, the basement, and there's a porch office that are pretty filled with my things.
How do you think your family views your hobbies and your collections?
Tolerance, amusement, mild annoyance. I think my wife would be happy if we just, decorated the house with everything new from Pottery Barn. The kids politely act like they're interested, but I'm not sure they're that thrilled with it. Got this at age 46. It is a visual depiction of the Pythagorean theorem. It was the time freshman year when I stole the head of the mummy. His name was Horatio. We noticed the Science Center had 8 floors rather than 7. So we decided that they were doing evil experiments upstairs, torturing cats, and it was our responsibility to go find out what was going on. So we walked around in the back of the building. There was a service elevator, and we took that up to the 8th floor.
And it was pitch dark, and we're feeling around without a flashlight. I thought I felt a face, and sure enough, I had opened up like it was like a sarcophagus or something, and it was a mummy. And you know, having the maturity of college freshmen, we decided it would be a good idea to take the head back with us. So we took the head back to the dorm, and you know, we played with it for a number of weeks, and you know, we would take it to the dining hall and put it under people's pillows as a practical joke or so forth. And after a few days of that, we got all nervous, so we decided to put the head back. 2 years later, a little newspaper comes out, and there's an article, "Mummy found in storage." And every time the paper came out, they'd come up with a new update about the mummy. We were terrified they were going to dust it for print or something and figure out that we had stolen it freshman year. At one point they said that the mummy had appeared to have died from asphyxiation, which is kind of logical given the fact that we pulled the head off and played touch football with it. They never did make the connection that anybody ever took the head of the mummy.